Temas, debates y algo más. Aquí, en Mundo Fox. Amables televidentes, hoy estamos en la ciudad de Plainfield, estado de New Jersey. Y qué bueno presentar para temas, debates y algo más al nuevo alcalde de la ciudad de Plainfield. Digo nuevo, aunque tomó posesión el 1 de enero de este año 2014. Pero es un placer conocerle y también conocer todas sus opciones que hay, en especial para la comunidad hispanoparlante en esta nueva administración. Y vamos a darle la bienvenida y de inmediato también hacer la traducción de todo lo que vamos a desarrollar en el despacho del señor alcalde. Mr. Mayor Mapp, it's a great pleasure to have you on TV en Mundo Fox en temas, debates y algo más.
The pleasure is mine, and welcome to Plainfield City Hall.
Mr. Mayor, you took office in January 1st, 2014.
Yes, that's correct.
When you took office, there was developing some kind of IDs for aliens who doesn't have a residence to live in the United States. That was, I believe, from the previous administration. Now, in your new administration, what you propose to do or what you want to do on behalf of these people who needs documentation in order to open checking accounts or saving accounts and to do all kind of transactions and lack any other documents?
Well, first of all, let me say that it is indeed unfortunate that this is the way this conversation has been framed. I must tell you that upon taking office in January, I received numerous complaints from members of the Latino community who came to me here at City Hall and who complained very loudly about the fact that they felt as though they were being exploited by the person in the name of Carmen Salavarita, who, under her organization, Angels for Action, was providing these ID cards to members of the immigrant community, primarily Latinos. And they felt, one, that they were being taken advantage of. Two, they were asked to provide documents that some of them said to me were not returned to them, and they were concerned about how those documents would be used or misused. And they said they were made to pay for that card, and they came to me complaining about how they felt exploited and they needed to get their money back. I must tell you that we did get our public safety director, who was also the police director, involved. And we made the decision based on the information that we had at the time, and nothing has changed since that time, that it would be in the best interest of the city to not be supporting a card that was not being accepted by most banks and other financial institutions, and it was not being accepted by neighboring municipalities, by their police departments. And so we felt it was in the best interest of these individuals who, it appeared, were being exploited to not support that card. And it never was sanctioned by the governing body. It is something that was agreed to between the former mayor and Ms. Carmen Salavarita.
Mr. Mayor, another issue that was bringing to the attention of the news media is the decision of a company name in Paramount, which is the owners of the majority of the stores in the city of Plainfield, with inflated rents that these people is almost getting bankrupt. The city is trying to do something to stop this abuse from Paramount in the city of Plainfield.
Well, I think that it is a mischaracterization to take the position that Paramount or any other business who is using the free enterprise system in this city, I think it's not fair to those businesses to say that they are abusing they power in terms of the rents that they charge to their tenants. And in Plainfield, our goal is to attract businesses. Our goal is to invite investors into our community. And we will not use language that would paint Paramount or any other developer, major business owner in this city in the negative light that was communicated to you, and which you just repeated here in the form of the question that you posed to me.
Mr. Mayor, also my question is in regards to any kind of benefits for the Hispanic community living in Plainfield, such as decreasing on taxes, helping them to the needy people who recently moved to the United States, as well to the city of Plainfield, in order to get any kind of help from the city. It's planning in your administration to any kind of help?
First of all, let me tell you, and you probably have realized that by now, based on my accent, that I am not a native-born American. I am from the beautiful Caribbean island in paradise known as Barbados. And so I understand very well the needs and the concerns of the immigrant population here in the city of Plainfield. My mother came from Barbados back in 1967, and she came as an undocumented immigrant. And she worked in the kitchens of America, and she was able to pave the way for me. And so I was able to come here as a legal resident immigrant. And so I do understand the needs and the concerns of the immigrant community here in the city of Plainfield. And I intend to provide supportive services that would help immigrants in the city of Plainfield to be able to enjoy and participate in the American dream. The Latino community, one of the things that I did upon taking office is that there was a commission known as the Plainfield Advisory Commission on Hispanic Affairs, and that was dormant. There were about 5 members that were appointed by the former mayor, and they never met. They never did anything to address the issues and the concerns of Latinos living here in Plainfield. And so I appointed new members to that advisory body, and they're now actively engaged in discussing and planning on ways that they're going to help the Latino community here in the city of Plainfield. I support that. I have a large number of Latinos that I call on at any given time for advice, and we work very closely and well together. So the Latino community in Plainfield, it's a community that is very friendly to me, and I am very friendly to the Latino community. We are each other's keepers.
But in terms of merchants, Hispanic merchants in Plainfield, that has been complaining about the high rent, the high taxes. Some of them are already closing business. What your administration is planning to do with them? Let them go or helping to stay?
No, we want to be supportive to our businesses as we possibly can. In Plainfield, we don't have rent control. It is whatever the market bears. But most people in Plainfield pay the average rent that you have in this area. And so in terms of taxes, one of the things that we are doing is we are working very hard at marketing the city of Plainfield, at promoting Plainfield as a destination where businesses and people with capital can come into the city to invest, so that we could expand our commercial tax base. And by expanding our commercial tax base, we would be able to provide relief for the businesses, for the homeowners that do have a challenge today with property taxes. So it's about how best we can market, rebrand, reposition the city so that we can attract businesses into the city. One of the things that we're doing and doing very well is that we are addressing the issue of crime. And since taking office, since appointing my new police director, Mr. Carl Riley, who's doing an excellent job, crime, serious crimes are down by some 32%. And so when we put a lid on crime, it's going to help to improve the perception that people outside of the city have about Plainfield. And as we get more into the rebranding and marketing and advertising and promoting the city of Plainfield, it's going to be a better place for not just Latinos, but for all of the people of Plainfield.
In terms crime rate that you just mentioned, 32% decrease the crime rate in Plainfield. How about drugs dealing?
Crime, that 32% that I am talking about, that takes in all serious crimes, such as drugs and violent crimes. It's down by 32%. So Plainfield, we are transforming the landscape of the city. We are dealing with the issues of drugs and violent crimes, just like what is plaguing other urban areas. And we are not alone in this challenge, but we have been doing an excellent job since this administration came into office in addressing the issue of crime on every level. So I'm very pleased that the direction that we're moving in, we are putting a lid on violent crime.
So you're telling me you've been doing very good since you took office, since January 1st to the present time, decreasing in 32% of the crime rate in the city.
We can always do better, and I am not satisfied with a reduction of 32%, but it's an achievement. And until we can get crime out of every neighborhood in this city, and this is a great evening that you picked to come to Plainfield, because as you know, we're celebrating National Night Out, which is when we encourage all of our residents to do everything they can to help us address the issue of crime throughout the city of Plainfield. And I think we're doing a very effective job. Are we perfect at what we're doing? Absolutely not. And there's more that we must do and we will do. We will put the resources to really addressing the issue of crime and making this a safer, more inviting place for all of us to live and for people to come.
Okay, I have a last question, and it's a very important issue, and it's just non-municipal issue, not local issue. It's a national issue. What it is, more than 50,000 children has arrived in the United States by illegal manners. Now, Plainfield, I know, is been receiving some of these children. What's happened, what your administration is pretending to do in terms of education, housing, and everything else in terms of the presence of those children in the Plainfield, in city of Plainfield?
Well, we don't have any statistics on how many of those kids that have crossed the border have ended up here in the city of Plainfield. But we are a very open and embracing community. And if there are families in the city of Plainfield that are willing to provide housing for some of those kids who, unfortunately, because of the conditions in the countries where they are coming from, are forced to cross the border to get into the United States where they can live in a safer environment and enjoy a better standard of living. I'm very supportive of that. I have a problem with politicians who, we are all immigrants, whether we are immigrants from the cotton plantations of the South or from the sugar plantations in the West Indies or in Latin America, we're all immigrants. And I have a problem with politicians who, after they have climbed that ladder, they want to just pull the ladder upon which they have built their created, a ladder that they've ascended. And so I am fully supportive of immigration reform. I am fully supportive of providing opportunities to the many undocumented immigrants who have a need to cross the border to come into these United States to find a safer environment where they can enjoy a better standard of living.
Since you are a Democrat and you represent the Democratic Party in this city as a mayor, and you just say that you favor an immigration reform, do you believe that before President Obama leaves office, there is going to be an immigration reform?
I hope and pray and I wish. But given the opposition from the Republicans in the House, it is highly unlikely that there will be comprehensive immigration reform during the term of President Obama. I hope and pray that they will be, and I would encourage the President to hold his ground and to put in place any executive orders that he could implement to further pave the way for immigration reform, because this country needs it, and it would be a better country if the people that are living here are able to gain legal status so that they can come out from underground and be a part of the open economy as opposed to being a part of the underground economy. They will pay taxes, and it would help boost the economy of the United States. And so I'm hopeful, but I'm not optimistic, but I hope and I pray.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see you some other time.
Thank you so
Thanks
much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Amigos televidentes, hemos tenido las palabras del alcalde de la ciudad de Plainfield y es una demostración de lo que un mandatario local se esfuerza por hacer por la comunidad, y en varios periodos de las administraciones anteriores no habíamos visto o enterado de que la alta criminalidad en esta ciudad, que realmente estaba corroyendo, ha caído un 32%, total que podemos decirle felicitaciones al alcalde, congratulations, muchas gracias, y desde la ciudad de Plainfield, en la alcaldía municipal, les informó Jeffrey del Romero. Temas, debates y algo más, aquí en Mundo Fox.